Hey, hon, you know that measure by mass video that we did? You'd mentioned that you need to convert recipes into mass. What if someone didn't know how to do that? Not me. I mean, I know, but like someone else may not know. How would they do that? I'm also just going to take notes for other people.
Other people.
Yeah.
In an earlier video, I showed the benefits of using mass when cooking. If that's new to you, go watch that video and come back here. I casually mentioned that you would need to convert your regular recipes to grams. Today, I'm going to show you just how to do that and then show you some of the benefits. There are really two different ways to convert a recipe. The first is to use a weight chart and some math, and the second is to make a recipe and weigh as you go.
Okay, I'm going to show you how the first method works. I'm going to demonstrate with a well-known French dish from Nestlé Toll House.
You mean Nestle Toll House?
Maybe. Anyway, on the back of this familiar yellow bag, you'll find this recipe. And we're going to use a conversion table. We'll link in the description below. And we're going to convert this recipe into grams. So first, we look up all-purpose flour on our conversion chart. Look, flour. The flour is just, holy moly, there's a lot of different types of flour. All-purpose flour, there we go, 120 grams per 1 cup. Now this needs 2 1/4 cups. So, handy dandy calculator here. 2 1/4, that is 2.25 times 120 grams per cup is 270 grams. So I just type that in there, 270 G. Now, baking soda. Type it into our list. Baking soda, half teaspoon is 3 grams. This is 1 teaspoon, so that's going to be 6 grams. Salt. Table salt, 18 grams per tablespoon. Okay, so we need 1 teaspoon. Now I gotta figure out how many teaspoons are in a tablespoon. 1 tablespoon is 3 teaspoons. So I need 1 teaspoon, so I need 1/3 of 18 grams, which is 6 grams again. Sometimes it's more trouble than it's worth to convert to grams. So for butter, we typically keep it in sticks. For vanilla, we keep it as a teaspoon. Eggs come in their own convenient packaging, so we would just keep them as large eggs. And so I'll just fill out the rest of this real quick. Now it comes to the semi-sweet chocolate morsels from Nestlé Toll House. Now it calls for 2 cups or 12 ounces in the recipe. But actually, if you look at the bag, you'll see that they actually have the mass of the bag on there. Now we have a double bag here, so it has 680 grams for 24 ounces. So we would need half of this, or 340 grams. That's a lot of chocolate chips. You can tell that this recipe is provided to you by the people who sell you chocolate chips. And chopped nuts. We don't like chopped nuts in our house, and so we would just add 2 tablespoons of flour. So there are 16 tablespoons in a cup. And so you have to do 2/16, which is 2 divided by 16, times the mass that you were given per cup, which is 120. So that's 15 extra grams. So I'm just gonna write plus 15 G. Flour. Okay.
I'm dividing this recipe in half because I don't need that many cookies today. If I were still working in cups, I'd end up with measurements like 1 1/8 cup flour and 3/8 cup sugar. I don't have measuring cups that measure in eighths. Do you? I didn't think so. Since I'm working in grams, this is simple. Just divide by 2 and we're done. Let's get mixing.
Chocolate chip cookies. What the heck?
These things look like they got in a fight with a steamroller and lost. What's going on?
Between you and me, and whoever else is watching this video, I knew that was gonna happen. It's happened to me before. It's probably happened to you before too. There are a couple of things wrong with this recipe. The first is that it needs more flour. It also could benefit from some time to let the moisture absorb into the flour before baking it.
Okay, so like how much more flour?
Well, I usually start by adding flour in increments of 10%. I have pretty good results with that, but I've done this before, and I think this could benefit from about 15% more, which is easy enough to do because we used grams.
I still get to eat these, right?
Yes, I wouldn't put good flat cookies to waste.
Now that we see this needs more flour, let's make it again.
Ooh, these look much better. Yes.
You have to wait. They're still too hot.
Okay.
Honestly, this is just a starting point. Each time you make something, take notes. It's so much easier to make small adjustments when measuring with grams. For instance, if you want to make something just a little sweeter, it's very easy to go from 200 grams of sugar to 220 grams of sugar instead of 1 cup and an eighth or some other amount that you're unsure of. All right, let's put these cookies away, and I'll tell you about the second way to translate a recipe that I call weigh as you go. If you regularly make a recipe and are happy with it, I think you'll be pleased with the results if you make it as you normally would, weigh the ingredients as you go, and write those weights down. When I translated my great-grandmother's chocolate pie recipe, this is the method that I used. This works great for those recipes that call for adding flour until a dough forms. Just make it the way she showed you and write those weights down. Let me show you how I do it. When the chocolate pie recipe was passed down to me, it called for 6 heaping tablespoons of flour. And she meant these spoons, not the measurement kind. For a while, every time I made these pies, I measured it this way, writing down the weights as I did. Over the course of a few family holidays, I settled on the weight that I use now to make it just like Momo made them. Of course, the best way is to call your grandma and say, "Grandma, can I come over and make chocolate pies with you?" You know she'll want to see you. And when you show up with a kitchen scale, she won't mind a little bit because you're going to give her a hug and tell her how much you love her and tell her how much you love her chocolate pie and could we make biscuits too? It's taken me a few years to convert all my favorite recipes, so just take them one at a time and you'll be on your way to more consistent cooking. If you like that, click subscribe and we'll see you next time.